and I started it. So let me see what happens now. I think Restream is probably coming across some difficulty with the YouTube. With the YouTube? Oh, it may not be. Maybe working. Oh, are we back? Let's go, we're back. I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm not gonna do it again. I'm gonna be very like intentional about what I show. And I'm gonna make sure I don't violate the rules again. So let's get off YouTube for now. Until I have like a specific intention with being on YouTube, I'm gonna stay off of it. So we were reading about Uzbekistan because we were just watching their World Cup results. Look at this. Half urban, half rural. Let's see what the capital looks like. Oh, this is sweet. Little Paris. It looks small though. Beautiful. Hmm. A lot of nothing right out here though. Let's see how much. One way, 485 to 600 flight to from US to Uzbekistan. Dang. Hmm. I'd go. That'd be cool. Send Sami to Uzbekistan. I think maybe that's what our stream's goal should be. Collect the funds. GoFundMe. GoFundMe going to Uzbekistan. All right. Shout out to Uzbekistan. I did a video the other day on healthcare fraud. I'll probably post it on the YouTube. It was just kind of a video of me, at my desk. Um, kind of like this monitor camera is right now, but it was just like that. And I may post it. I may post it. I should post it. I'm going to post it. What else we think in chat? Talk to me. Talk to me. 2 viewers in the chat right now. How do we get some engagement? Boom, boom, boom. I gotta get like LaMelo Ball. I guess since YouTube kicked me off, if I wanna get any music on here, I gotta get LaMelo Ball here personally. He's gotta play his original music. I guess that's the only way I'm gonna get some music on here. Put that there. Let's see who emailed me. Restream with my streaming report. Yo, today was good. Today was good. Um, for Kalshi betting. Check this out. Should log in automatically. No more passwords. Exactly. Let's see. The last couple days have been phenomenal for me so far. So hopefully we can keep this up. What is this? I got checks from the bank for my client trust account actually, which is something I needed. So now I'm just gonna clean that up in a second. Now I can actually send checks from my client trust account now that I'm getting paid. Haha, you know what I mean? Now that I'm getting that moolah. But seriously, I started my law firm about 6 months ago. So I'm finally getting kind of like the first round of payments on my cases, settlement amounts. Cases are finally wrapping up. That's kind of how a lot of civil law is. You take a case and you kind of just account that case until you get some sort of settlement or some sort of judgment or some resolution. It's going to take about, I don't know, it could be 3 months, 6 months, it could be a year, it could be a couple years, God forbid. Um, so perfect. I like that. It's actually kind of cool. What can I do with this? I don't know what this is for. It was on my last one when I got my kind of what's it called? Like the binder for my checks for my operating account. It also came with one of these, and I didn't really know how like I'm supposed to put it in the binder with the with the checks. I don't know. Okay, let's see. My computer here. I just need to clean up my workspace just like a little bit. Um. Oh, did this not sign in yet? Come on, come on, come on. I don't know what's happening. Loading, login, reminder, weekly scheduled exchanges will occur from 3 a.m. to. Oh, I may be. No, I'm not in that period yet. Google. Just got this laptop recently as well. I got a lot of tech. That's been a lot of my purchases here. IRS, if you're watching, I'm not kidding. Do not audit me. I'm not lying about all my purchases, my deductions. Well, I haven't done that yet, but I'm definitely going to deduct everything exactly how I'm allowed to. I bought a lot of tech, but you really need to. I've always thought that tech, like a good computer, good desktop, good phone, that's like the armor and sword, the shield and sword that lawyers have when they go into battle, when they go into court against one another, um, representing clients. Uh, you need to have it, and that thought really became prevalent in my mind when I was working for the Imperial County District Attorney and the Imperial County Public Defender. Like, I have nothing to say but good things about those experiences. But one thing, and I actually wrote this on my performance, not performance review, but my exit paperwork. They said something like, "How was your experience?" You know, they do like a little survey. How was your experience? Is there anything you would change? What feedback? And I literally said like, "I loved it here. This was a great experience." But one feedback that I would give is the technology is not that great. Like attorneys had computers that would probably die after an hour. It'd be like even less than 50-50 if the computer had any charge by the time you pulled it out of your bag. And that's a real problem when you need to like look at something in a flash. in court. You're mid-hearing and maybe you're like, ah, shit, I need to pull up that document, and you need to be able to rely on like a good. I'm trying to clean up my workspace. I need to organize a little bit to get my mind organized, and then I can get started. What's going on here? Okay, there we go. Check this out. By the way, my history. Where do we have it? Since the World Cup started, Iran plus. Here, let me see. I've had a couple bad ones, but really it's just like the World Cup. Since it started, I put money on Iran, New Zealand tie. Uh, cost was $49.98. Payout was 102 plus $52. After that, France, Senegal. I put money on France to win. Total cost was 49. That was a positive 31.38. This one was just kind of like a long shot. This was a $20 bet to pay $2,300. That was on Iraq and Jordan to win their games. But then I faded myself immediately, and I put goal scorer. First, I put goal scorer Erling Haaland. He hit. I put 100 on that to win net 67.49, and then immediately after I put $15 on Ayman Hussein to score, and Iraq ended up losing 4-1, but Ayman scored right after I put it, and I netted 87.81 there. Argentina to win by 1.5 goals or more, at least 1.5 goals. That hit. That was $49, and that was so I netted 76.11. I had Arnautovic to be a goal scorer. I had Where is it? I had two on Austria Jordan. Arnautovic to be a goal scorer, Sabitzer to have an assist. It was crazy. At the very end of the game, it's actually one of Austria's goals was an own goal. But when you saw it in real time, you would think that it was a Sabitzer assist to Arnautovic. And it was a Sabitzer cross off a corner. He crossed it in. Arnautovic is running on, and you think he like gets a head on it and flicks it behind him to the back post. And then after a review, you see that like Arnautovic was fighting there and kind of nudged the defender, and then the defender accidentally kind of just like flicked it to the backside and scored an own goal. So that almost hit, but then like a last minute, literally like last minute PK, Arnautovic took and hit. So I recovered a little bit. Actually, I netted between these two, but it would have been way better if this is not. Oh, I ended up cashing out. Ha, that was funny. They let me cash out even after the game was done. I think that was an error on their part, and I took advantage of it. And then two negative results today. I was on fire. That was all yesterday. And then today, Ghana versus Panama, Portugal versus Congo. I put $75 on the wrong team both times. And then I made it all up with Luis Diaz. $100 on him, netted 134.22. And then I played my friend actually in FIFA, netted 100 there. So overall we're up. We're up, we're up, we're up. That's funny. We got some engagement in the chat. Anyone? No one, no one. I'm gonna go throw away these boxes. I'll be back. And I have to throw away this coffee. I'll be back. I don't know if this mic, how long it's gonna pick up. If the mic's still picking up, then the receiver's really good. All right, let's get this all thrown away. Recyclables, because it's a box, cardboard box. Let's go back inside. Oh, this is not nice. Somebody dumped a bunch of trash right outside like the fence of my office. Don't worry, Chad. I'm almost back. It's kind of a long walk. Shama, chat, Shama. All right. All right. Let's see. This is also something I have to address. What are these paperworks? This is actually the paperwork for OAC, which is it's kind of like the overflow panel for the public defenders cases. Basically, you know how like when somebody can't afford an attorney, they get the public defender, blah blah blah. Well, sometimes the public defender has too many cases. So the private attorneys, the criminal defense attorneys that have their own offices that usually charge people to handle their cases, well, they're contracted to sort of be like the alternate public defenders. I'm not going to go into why in San Diego that's technically not the best way of looking at it because there is an alternate public defender, like literally like um, an office called that. And but like that's for conflicts. That's not for overflow. I'm pretty sure. And point is, uh, private attorneys are contracted to also take those free cases. Like the client still gets the attorney for free, and then the private attorney gets paid by the county on like a contract basis. Usually it's like case by case. And okay, unrealized return is minus 2,000. That is fair because I'll be honest, I had a bet. Oh, it's actually an active bet. One of the active bets is a big loss on Roberto Sanchez. Uh, yeah, on Roberto Sanchez, it was like this is between two people, not just myself, but it's basically like a loss. It was for Roberto Sanchez to win the Peru presidential election. I was on Fujimori. I got nervous. I hopped off. I hopped on Roberto Sanchez. I doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down. Somebody else got into it, and we're gonna lose this bet. I think. I mean, he's he's putting in a legal challenge actually in the election, so that process has to play out. He's entitled to. So in theory, like he could be announced as the winner if certain amount of votes are invalidated. And then this is another one I have. Will the Israeli parliament be dissolved before June 30th? No, is my answer. This one looks like it's going to win. You can see here, um, I'm going to be up pretty big there, and that's just 73%. Well, yeah, the whole payout could be this much, and that would be really cool. So that's what we have right now. I mean, let's. Sometimes I just like to look at it just to see real quick. Oh, here's Bitcoin. Huh. Bitcoin 64,000 target. I don't really even know what it's on. What if I put Robinhood? What comes on? Let me log in on my phone. Yes, it's me. We recognize this device. I don't have any money in my Robinhood right now, by the way, but I do have an account, and I've been active on Robinhood before. So I just kind of, I still have an account, and I go on it just to see things, and it's like I was betting not too long ago, probably like 6 months ago. Betting, I always think about it as betting because that's really what it is. Most stock market in engagement nowadays is just like gambling, man. But what's it been like the last week? Up 2%. I know like within the last month it experienced like a significant decline. People were like, "Oh my God, 60,000! Look at that!" Just hovers at around 59. Wow, it hit the 50s. That's making Michael Saylor. How do you spell it? Yeah. That's making him nervous, I'm sure. Hmm. I don't know if this is true is the thing. He's like, you see now he's here. Let's see. What does he think the reason was for the Bitcoin's crash? Used high profile interference to address two separate issues: criticism over their recent Bitcoin sale and his own theory for why Bitcoin has been lagging this year. Pointed out the apparent contradiction between his long-standing message to retail investors to sell 32 bitcoins, and he sold 32 bitcoins in May, and he said I don't think he said he would sell, but then he did say that like they'll be forced to sell if it gets below a certain point because like mathematically that is where like their breaking point is, and they can't hold less than that because they're just holding at a loss at that point. Uh, Saylor said, I got very famous for saying you do not sell your Bitcoin to the plebs, but he clarified that the advice was aimed at individual holders, not at how a Bitcoin treasury company should operate. Strategy, he said, existed to create Bitcoin backed credit, not to function as a static holding vehicle. I don't know. What is that? What does that even mean? Bitcoin backed credit. Let me see this. I want to actually copy this. Let's see what this says. What he means by Bitcoin backed credit. Bitcoin backed credit. Bitcoin is the asset backing a company's borrowing creditworthiness. In plain English, a normal company might borrow money because it has cash flow, real estate inventory. A Bitcoin treasury company strategy says our balance sheet is a huge amount of Bitcoin. Lenders, investors can extend us credit because that Bitcoin is valuable collateral or balance sheet support. I would not. I would not lend them any money. Um, if they, even if they pledged all their Bitcoin as collateral. I don't think it's stable. The way I understand it, I don't think it's as hot of a commodity as people make it out to be. I don't see its value. I think the value is um, from like an. I think when you're looking at like what product or service do they provide, I think the value comes from their technology. And to me, it doesn't even seem like the way I understand it. It doesn't seem like um, super unique technology. It doesn't. It seems like I think Bitcoin Cash is an exact replica, like copy paste the entire file of Bitcoin of BTC. So it seems like Bitcoin itself is what's the difference? Bitcoin token and network distinction. This is what I learned when I looked into it. Uh, so there's the Bitcoin network, and then there's Bitcoin, which is like the token itself. And what I understand is that what you're buying when you buy Bitcoin is you buy the coin. What can you do with the coin? It gives you access to the Bitcoin network. Um, to me, that seems like that's what the value is of Bitcoin. And then it's access to that network. So then we need to talk about, well, what does that network look like? Let me put the volume down a bit. Yeah, and then now we need to talk about, hold on, I don't know if I'm seeing the volume meter going into like the yellows. It's not going into the red, but it's going into the yellow. I'm gonna keep it right there. um, a lot of people don't even, I think when they're talking about Bitcoin, when they're investing in Bitcoin, buying, selling it, they don't even like really understand fundamentally like what are they buying. Um, because it's important. Most people don't know that there's like a distinction between Bitcoin as a token, and this goes through all crypto. Like, there's a difference between Bitcoin as a token and the Bitcoin network itself, and it's not always the same uh, on Robinhood in terms of like what you're buying. If you look at Ethereum, you're actually buying, it seems like to me, you're buying some sort of share in the network. And that's the price that Ethereum represents on Robinhood, at least. For some reason, these are all lumped into crypto, but they're fundamentally different things. So it's confusing to me why they would be put into the crypto category in Robinhood. And I think people think that Bitcoin and Ethereum are just like one of ones. They're the same exact thing, but they're really not. Um, Bitcoin, when you're buying it on Robinhood, you're buying the token. What can you do with the token? You can sell it to other people. You can put it in a wallet forever and lose it. Uh, you can or you can access the Bitcoin network with it. It seems like that's the only token that allows you access onto the Bitcoin network. What does that even mean? Well, that just means you can buy and sell Bitcoin as a currency that represents the value of certain items or services that your products or services that you're involved with. So basically, it's just it's a network to record your transactions. You buy and sell things in Bitcoin. You say, this is how much this Bitcoin represents. We're going to exchange that because I'm getting like a real product or service from you. Ideally, that's how transactions work. Um, and and that's what the Bitcoin network is. Why use the Bitcoin network? Because I mean, people always talk about the various reasons. It's like a finite supply, so it can't be devalued. Even though we're seeing that with Bitcoin, even though there's a cap on it, 21 million, I think Bitcoin is being like infinitely fractionalized. Now it's no longer like you buy and sell one Bitcoin. Now you can a cup of coffee is like 0.0004 Bitcoin or something like that. And that's like causing an interesting effect in my mind because like what it's essentially doing is just fractionalizing the currency to the point where now it really has more than 21 million. I mean, the idea that it has a limit of 21 million, kind of like the power of that, I think psychologically is that um, it makes you think you need to look at it in wholes, in one, and that there's a limit. But when you're infinitely fractionalizing it down on the other end of that cap, then I mean, what is that doing to the value? So that's like questionable whether that's really a factor, a positive for the Bitcoin network. Other ones people say is like security, transparency, instant transfers, uh, transparency of transfers. I mean, these are good things. Um, Deregulated in the sense that like if your money's blocked up in frozen accounts, if your money's under government sanctions, if you live in a country that's under sanctions, then the Bitcoin network is workarounds all of that. I mean, to me, whenever I hear that, I just think like, so it sounds like Bitcoin's really helpful for drug dealers and people that live in sanctioned countries. Me, average Joe, attorney that lives in America, I don't know how helpful that is to me. Especially at this inflated price, like 60,000 just to get one token, which basically just allows me access to that network to trade the value of that token. That's all Bitcoin is. And I don't see how it's so valuable when, to me, the value is tied to the network, to access to the network. But like, it doesn't even seem like there's like strong IP on it. It doesn't seem like it's a unique technology because my understanding is Bitcoin Cash is an exact replica. I think it's kind of like the funny thing about it is that it just copied it, called it something else, but it was copy and paste of the exact network and mechanisms of that network. There's other cryptocurrencies that have tokens that operate on a network that work the same way. They're quick, they're transparent, they're secure, um, whatever you have it. Um, and the reason that Ethereum is fundamentally different, especially as you buy and sell it on Robinhood, is because the If you go look on Robinhood right now and you try to buy Ethereum, it'll be called Ethereum. And you read the description, it'll talk about it as a blockchain network or a blockchain technology. And that's exactly what you're buying when you're buying Ethereum on Robinhood. The token is not even called Ethereum. You're not buying the token the when you're buying Ethereum on Robinhood. Like when you see Ethereum right now, what is it? Let's see what Ethereum costs. I mean, somebody tell me if I'm wrong. I'm also kind of just like exploring what the hell I know about all this stuff. Yeah, if you look at, well, that's actually interesting. I mean, if you look in Robinhood, I should have been following along with all this. Ethereum was launched as a decentralized blockchain. So that's what it is. It's 1728. And the way I understand it is that this is not saying that the token of Ethereum is worth this much. This is saying that shares, so maybe it is, look, circulating supply, 120 Ether. On Robinhood, am I buying Ether or shares in Ethereum? Oh, you see how confusing that is? Well, this says that it's actually Ether. You see how confusing that is? This should actually be called Ether probably, and it should be represented here. Ethereum is divisible to, but the actual ETH represents Ether, which is the token. The token is not called Ethereum, so the token is called Ether, not Ethereum. Not ethereal. But it knew what I meant. Yes, the token is named Ether, not Ethereum. Ethereum is the name of the blockchain network. Ether is the actual cryptocurrency. So here, when it says Ether or it says Ethereum, it made me think that there's a difference. Oh, look at this, agentic. Let your agent trade. Dang, they're going all in. They're like, yeah, have your agent lose money on our platform. We have no problem with that. Okay, so I was wrong. Scratch that. So I guess when you're buying them on Robinhood, you're buying the same thing. You're buying the tokens, which I guess give you access to the network. Um, the reason really Ethereum seems like a better bet is because the Ethereum network itself is um, much more robust than the Bitcoin network. The Ethereum network, I think, supports so many different cryptocurrencies. So it's important to see what you can do with the Ether, because to me, that's how I'm assigning value. I'm thinking, what can I even do with these tokens? I know I can transact with them, and I think a lot of us think about transactions with these cryptos in like the most basic ways without really understanding the full capabilities of these tokens and access to them. Um, and the way I understand Ethereum is that I should, one of these days, I should create an Ethereum account, buy some, and kind of just explore that whole software. I kind of want to do a little bit more work before I would do something like that because that'll just help. I mean, how can we talk about Bitcoin? How can we talk about Ethereum when I don't even have any, right? Or I've never even like held it, or I don't even know the uh, what the network's mechanisms are. This is nice. Huh, that's very nice. We got anyone on the stream? What's up, stream? We're looking at Ethereum right now. I'm trying to think. I'm using my other computer to do a little bit of work. I think I need to, or I should, write a couple checks, get those ready for the mail. Um, I have to send these checks to a client. Hmm. I'm doing some calculations, trying to figure out how much on the check. Hmm. How much money on the checks. So let's do. What's up? We got any engagement in the chat? Anyone saying anything? No? Uh, let's get an envelope. work right now, if you'll excuse me. I'm gonna read that. Where is it? No, not that. I think I lost it. We were talking about Ethereum and everything. I think I was gonna watch a little video or something. Not a video. I think I was gonna read an article on Bitcoin, Michael Saylor, but not right now. I gotta do something real quick. Check this out. I think I can show this. I mean, this is what people want to see, right? Can you read that? 6,600. Sending to my client right now. They're very happy. I'm gonna send it to them. Got their case handled. Got the insurance company to pay. They were acting a fool. They really were. That's what we do at Sami Nouri Law Firm. Ooh, AI. Yeah, this is what we do at Sami Nouri Law Firm. Just got another case today, an auto case. I should actually get back to the person, my client. It's actually an existing client. Unfortunately, this family member of theirs got into an accident. So I was calling my client on one case, and they were like, actually, I'm dealing with this other situation. And I'm like, oh, shit. Well, I actually handled that as well. So probably going to be able to help her with that. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, I mean, there is an envelope. What are we talking about? Wait, there's a paper jam? What do you mean there's a paper jam? There's not a paper jam. My printer's saying there's a paper jam. There's no paper jam. I think it should work right now. I'm making the envelope. I have a good printer. I have like a professional grade printer. I got it from an attorney that I worked with at the public defender's office. He just gave it to me because he loves me and I love him. Seriously, so cool. Okay, there you go. Uh, Here we go. Pop this in. Pop this in. And bam, just like that. The best mail to send out is money to a client because you know you're going to make them happy, which makes you happy because this is why we do it. We do it for clients, we do it for their experience, we do it so they can make money, and we do it so we can make money too. Let's see. So that's tight. Took care of that. Exit that. Check out the stream. Money got longest, we got turn to a fatty, pocket of service, she got me daddy. Nowadays I am it. Remember that song? Little Uzi Vert. When you hear that vibration at the start of the song's like, and it's like a vibration. It's kind of like happening behind you. If that like ever just turned on in my entire environment, like that's how maybe I just want to like enter any serious. If I want to like enter my wedding, I want to be like, dun, 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 dun. Or if somebody's gonna like try to take my life, I want that music to start playing in the background. I'm gonna hit some golf balls right now because I like to do something like that every time I do a productive task. I don't know, you can call that like autistic or something, but uh, well, not necessarily that. That's probably not a good thing to say, but I'm not gonna police myself like that. I think there's something unique about live streaming and just kind of like whatever comes out comes out. Um, I think maybe you can see the results of some of these shots. I think the stream gets it a little bit. The hole itself, like you can see this one dropping in, missing actually, but I'm hitting long putts right now. Dang, miss again, short, short again. Jeez, make. Ooh, this thing shoots back and it never works, but it just worked right there. I just got 3 balls. That one hit a bounce in. Miss. That was close though. There we go. YouTube's gonna kick me off again if I play that. They may kick me off for just like saying all this. Why is it still on Ethereum? Oh, was it? I think it may still be because it is still on Ethereum. Okay. Let's see. It's pretty late at night. There's not really gonna be any good bets. There's tennis. I never do. I don't watch tennis. I don't know anything about it. Okay, so I just did that task. Um, okay. This client actually sent me a bunch of stuff, and I need to look at it. That case I told you, where I think I got a new case. Um, I'm reviewing the documents right now for it. kind of thirsty. I might go across the street to 7-Eleven and get a drink. Get like a cranberry juice. Ooh, that sounds good. Chat, yo, I think I'm gonna go across the street to 7-Eleven. Let's see, do I have like Microsoft Word and stuff? Hmm. There you go. I'm gonna go to 7-Eleven.
What about affordability? I said I didn't cause it. Shabbat nar, Shabbat nar. Hey. Also, but TJ.
Alright, be right back. What's going on, chat? This is Sami Nouri, attorney at law. I'm back so I can get rid of the. Get rid of that. I can focus on this. Let's look at the Iran deal together. That'll be an interesting exercise. Let me put this here. Actually, I may not have access because if this is AP. Oh no, AP allows. Oh, okay. An initial agreement to end the war between the U.S. called for Tehran to dilute its stockpile of highly enriched and would waive sanctions on the country, immediately allowing it to sell its oil freely. Oh wow. Let's see. Hold on. Let me put this coinage away. I got a lot of coins. I gotta take it to one of those Coinstar machines. Look at what I got. Nesquik. Nesquik strawberry milk, 14 grams of protein. Um, what else? I got Nesquik. I got kind of an elite lineup of drinks. Nesquik, cranberry. This is the best cranberry juice. Ocean Spray, or one of. It's of a class of cranberry juices that have a really nice tart, sour flavor. It's not, and it's sweet too. It's not too sweet. It's the perfect balance of sweet and tart, and maybe that means that it's leaning towards the tart a little bit more than sweet. Um, Incredible cranberry juice, and then naked strawberry banana machine boosted smoothie. Basically a strawberry banana smoothie. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Um, I'm feeling a little hungry, but I'm not gonna eat. I'm gonna keep it light, keep it to liquids. So good. Let me fix this. I think I kind of like that better because I kind of sit a little off center to the screen. Um, so that's perfect. Leave that. All right, I have to mail out some sort of billing thing. I did a little bit of work, contract work for that public defender overflow panel thing. I did a little bit of contract work on that, um, and now I have to submit my bill, get a whopping $300. I'm very grateful for it, but in terms of payment amount, it's I hate to say, but it's a small amount compared to the work I did, compared to the usual hourly rates of attorneys. I basically got paid $30 an hour, and I'm grateful for it. But I was essentially doing like a lot of attorney work, and I mean, you hate to see it, but the market says an attorney is at least 250 an hour. That's what the CJ8 hourly rate is for an attorney, and I think that's kind of representative across the industry for the hourly amount that attorney is worth, which is kind of how it is. But a form, Ah, I hit the table.